Thank you, Jo-Yin. I hope you're all okay. We did say there's a lot of information, so like I said, we'll go through it. But if you have any questions, we will get to them either when we finish the slides, but there might not be time. If not, definitely afterwards. Right. So this is something that's I was particularly excited about. So now the insurance will cover you to work outside of your habitual residence as long as it's up to 90 days per visit. So with our old insurance, you were only allowed 30 days per year, but now it's 90 days per visit. So this also
That's effectively that's
yeah,
effectively to cater for student placements.
perfect. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Bob. Yeah, because we were contacted in the past, maybe somebody wants to do a placement in another country, and it's going to take longer than 30 days. So we've responded to that. Also, virtual work that you do whilst in your habitual residence counts as the location that you're sitting at your computer in counts as the location. So it might be that you're in the UK and you see service users in India remotely. So this counts technically as you working in the UK because that's where you are. And also linked to that, HCPC have got some useful information on its website regarding remote working. But again, if you've got any inquiries or questions about that, just contact Professional Advisory Service via the hello email. Next question. Sorry, next slide, please. So when this talks about working outside of your habitual residence, so this is working with service users who geographically are in those locations. So you wouldn't be covered if it's Canada, USA. I don't know what all its protectorates means, Bob. What does that mean?
It means the countries which come under the United States, probably jurisdiction, but military protection. And the point to make as well is that when we talk about habitual residence, we're not talking about a house, we're talking about a country. So which is either Great Britain, Northern Ireland, the Channel Islands, or the Isle of Man. That's one lumped together, and the other one is the Republic of Ireland.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bob. Next slide, please. Okay, so this next bit talks about walking outside of your habitual residence. So this is an example that's a link to what Bob was just talking about. So if you're based in the UK, Isle of Man, Channel Islands, if a claim was made against you in any of these locations, you would be covered. If a claim was made against you in the Republic of Ireland, it would not be covered. So if you are a UK-based OT working in the Republic of Ireland, the claim must be made against you in the UK to be covered. What I would say is don't worry too much about this, because if something was to occur, then we could advise you anyway, or if you've got any specific questions, because it can get a bit technical sometimes with the insurance and what's covered and geography. So just to tell you that. Next slide, please. So if you're based in the Republic of Ireland, so if a claim was made against you in the Republic, you would be covered. But if a claim was made against you in the UK or Isle of Man or Channel Islands, it wouldn't be covered unless the claim was redirected to the Republic of Ireland. So, Bob, is there anything you want to say there? No.
People with student placements in particular, students will say to us, and it applies equally to the example you've just given, well, what if it is made against me in that country? To which I usually say, well, do you have any assets in that country? And the answer is invariably no. And the insurance doesn't cover them. Then the claimant is surely going to redirect the claim to where the member does have assets, a house or whatever it is, and where their insurance is valid. It makes sense. So under the old policy, it used to say the claim had to be first made against you in your home country. It doesn't say that now. It just says if it is made against you. So you would expect the claimant to, and this would be the same with remote work. If you're working with someone in Egypt, why would the claimant try and sue you in Egypt when you're sitting in Great Britain and that's where all your assets are?
Brilliant. Thank you, Bob. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've got a few scenarios now just to go through, and again they're just examples to try and explain the insurance. So this is talking about cross-border working. So a member works Monday to Wednesday in Northern Ireland, but their habitual main residence is the Republic. So they also work Thursday and Friday in the Republic. So we need to think about, will their work be covered in both Northern Ireland, which is obviously part of the UK, and the Republic of Ireland, which is a separate country. So with our insurance, yes, so they would be covered for all their work done in Northern Ireland. And also, it doesn't matter how many visits you have across the border, but you just need to make sure that it is less than the 90 days. Okay.
Anyone, yes.
In any one. Thank you, Bob. In any one period. So because it's relatively common, for members who live either in Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland to go, to cross the border to do work, and then also for students for placement. So this is really good because this is extra cover that solves that headache for people who were they were insured one side of the border but not the other side of the border. So that's taken away that stress. Next slide, please. Okay. So I like this term, digital nomad. So they basically this is an occupational therapist who travels around. So they might do, they call it getting about a bit. They might do 90 days in Thailand, 90 days in Japan, 90 days in Singapore, 90 days in Canada, and they see everybody remotely. Their primary location is in the Isle of Man. So I think, oh, will they be covered? The important thing to remember is that activities in Canada would not be covered because, as we know, USA and Canada is not covered by our insurance. And the rest would be covered, but again, provided claims were brought against them in either the UK, Isle of Man, or the Channel Islands. Slide, please. Oh, thank you. So this is about talk about placement, student going on placement. So a student from a UK university goes on a 90-day practice placement in Tanzania. They unintentionally injure a service user and a claim is made against them in Tanzania in the courts. Will the RCT insurance cover? This is exactly what Bob is talking about, so no. But now, if the claims were subsequently brought against them in the UK, then our insurance would cover you.